So I want to talk about your authentic self and how even though you may be a wounded child, you may see hints of your authentic self from time to time. I was thinking about this in the wee hours this morning, and I wanted to make sure I put this out there because this is important. For me, I saw glimpses of my authentic self when I was very young, probably around 5. And I wrote about it, and I'm going to put the link on this video so that if you want to read the story, you can. And it's not, I didn't write everything in my life or anything like that, but I gave examples of things that I experienced as a young child that were my authentic self. And I know that now. I did not know that at the time. You know, children can't rationalize things the way adults can, and even when you are an adult, sometimes you can't rationalize things properly. And it's very interesting to me how, you know, people question, well, I don't want to change myself. Well, you're not changing yourself by healing the wounded child. What you're doing is you're bringing out the authentic you, which is who you are fundamentally supposed to be. And I've spoken about how, you know, I was basically, it was, you know, complete opposite of the when I was a wounded child to now. And I was thinking about the things in my childhood that were hints of my authentic self, and how I dealt with that as a child, because it's kind of ironic because I was severely wounded from the time I can remember. My earliest childhood memories were of a wounded child. And I did things that were because of my authentic belief, even though I couldn't rationalize it as a child and I didn't understand it, but it's the reasons I couldn't fit in with my adopted family. It's kind of like an interesting irony, if you will, because I couldn't fit in because I knew that some things that I was being exposed to were fundamentally wrong, and they were wrong to me and my authentic self. And as I've, you know, evolved, since I've healed myself, I understand that so well, because the things that I absolutely cannot deal with are the same things that bothered me when I was a child. And I didn't realize it was bothering me when I was a child. I just acted, you know, like I cut Sunday school. I didn't want to go to Sunday school. Sounds bizarre. But now I understand why. And it was because the very people that I went to Sunday school with and were teaching Sunday school were the same people that my adopted mother was talking crap about and bashing and basically backstabbing. And I knew it was wrong, and I felt guilty, and I didn't want to face the people because of what I had witnessed said about them, if that makes sense. So if you want to kind of get a glimpse into your authentic self, you can, and I'm not a big believer in looking back. I preach this a lot. Because you can't move forward if you're looking back. But in this case, if you remember vivid childhood memories of things that either bothered you or you reacted in such a way because it obviously bothered you, that's a glimpse into your authentic self. And once you heal that inner child that's wounded, your authentic self will evolve, and you will get to know your authentic self. And it is a beautiful thing. And I can write about my childhood now, and it doesn't bother me. I'm grateful that I went through it, because I believe it made me a better person. And I kind of understand my purpose now for going through all of this, because now I can help other people who are faced with the same pain and the same suffering, because you don't have to. And, you know, I know it's hard to believe that when you're in the midst and you're in that pit of despair almost as a wounded child, as an adult, and you feel helpless and you feel hopeless and you feel like you almost just, you know, accepted the fact that you are just going to be broken. You don't have to accept that. And I don't want you to. And it's like I feel so passionate because I know what it feels like to be in that place, because I was there. I lived there for a long time, way longer than I should have. But I needed to go through it and I needed to understand it, and I do now. And it's so interesting to me when I think back to certain things that I did as a child, that I did because of my authentic self was trying to come through, but my wounded child would not allow it. And it's funny how that happens, and it's just so ironic to me, and I wanted to make sure I shared it, because if you have those memories of those little hints of your authentic self, you can revisit those and kind of give yourself some hope that, you know what, you don't have to live in this pit anymore. You can escape this prison. It's up to you, and it's not that difficult to do. And I keep saying that over and over because I feel so passionate about it, because I was a mess, and by all accounts, I should have been a total loss of a person. But somehow I found the strength to climb out of that pit of despair, and I healed myself. And I want to share with you how easy it really is to fix, and how you can correct it, and how you can become the best version of you.